All right, folks, listen, I do know why you're here. If I saw a thumbnail that looked that good, I'd be wherever that's at also. So listen, today I'm gonna show you how to make jambalaya, and guess what? We putting some blackened catfish on top. So you're really getting a twofer. You guys take a look at this right here. You see that right now? Ooh-wee. Let's get it. All right, folks, look, let's go over some of these ingredients, right? So if you guys look down this way, we got several things down here, but don't let this, get you upset or think that this is like just over the top. It's not. We making a jambalaya. This right here is really gonna be the key, just that andouille sausage. And don't forget the full ingredient list is on my website, smokingandgrillingwithab.com, and that's WITAB.com. All right, so we got to do a little bit of prep work. I'll talk to everybody. I didn't ask this question many a time. So what happens when we do celery, we do onion, and you guys tell me what else is in there? Is that bell pepper? What is that called? We got to start talking about it now, folks, because you know what? We're getting ready to run into this fall. Now, I know the rest of these cooking channels, y'all thinking like, oh, if AB getting ready, I'm finna get ready too. Now, this is what we finna do. We finna dice this down. I got 2 celery. Let's go ahead and get it all done together. So I just take a rib of celery, just like you see, with my sharp knife, bring this around like that. We're gonna cut it all together one time. You guys know the drill. I say it in almost every video. Notice what I'm finna do, because I want the flavor, folks. Look at how small I'm doing these. When you do them small, when you cook them, they disintegrate. That's a nice size right there. But then, for those of you guys who like to have that texture, which I do too, now look, you see they get a little bit bigger. All right, so now we're gonna do the green onions, right? Look, this the part I'm gonna call like the onion part. I don't really know the technical name for it, but up until here, we're gonna put this in the pot, right? So I'm gonna come here and I'm just gonna cut these down like this, just so we can get some of this flavor in there also. I see something trying to escape. We just put this over here. I'm gonna make a little small pile, but it's all going in there at the same time anyway. And then this part right here, the green tops, let me just cut this just to get it started. And now I'm gonna use this for like a little bit of garnish, right? So we'll just cut this down. Get yourself a little bowl. You gotta love the prep work too. For those of you guys that know, I drive a race car, but I love the whole part about it. It's not just driving the car, it's working on the car, it's driving to the track, all of that. Same thing with cooking. You see all of this that I'm doing? I enjoy all of it, folks. Next, we're gonna go ahead and work with this andouille. Now, this is not the regular andouille that I use. This is not the chicken andouille. I have some, but it's frozen. So look, we're just gonna go ahead and cut this down. You guys do it how you wanna do it. Jambalaya, I'm trying to think like this. Some of you guys gonna make them like this, but not me. I mean, I'm gonna have a few like that, obviously, since I started. Let me just go ahead and just finish this up. You know what I mean? That's fine, but I still like to get it in every bite. Now, I don't know about you guys, but the kind of friends I have, when they go ahead and hit the pot, I've seen people taking the andouille out. This is why I don't make them in medallions no more. So this is what I do to counteract the few cats that I know that get down and do that. I just take them like this. We cut them, all right? And believe it or not, I've always done medallions. It's like, I don't remember my grandmama ever cutting them down like this. But if I make them like this stops them. Because then whoever that cat is, and I'm speaking to a certain person, he know, because when he watched this video, he gonna be laughing. But I just want to let him know, hey homie, I ain't laughing. It ain't funny. Everybody else gotta eat too. See, I put him in like this, and now he can't dig. Anyway, a lot of flavor, and it gives you andouille everywhere. Now, look how I do this. You see how I hollow that out? Just cut it around. I cut top, bottom, just so it'll sit up as if we finna do stuffed bell peppers, right? So I take this. Now, you guys can cut this down any kind of way you want to from here on. I just like to do it like this. I kind of like want to curl up, so I like to work with 2 halves. Here, when you got a sharp blade, look how that does. Then if you need to cut them ribs out. Another thing too, don't do as you see me doing. Let's learn to do the things the right way. You saw that I was just cutting this towards me. That's wrong, folks. I'm supposed to always cut away. So now I'm gonna take these and I think we're gonna just cut these down like this. Remember, that whole size and flavor thing comes into place right now. We want to invite people over. You want to tell everybody, hey, I made this jambalaya. If you do anything like I used to do, for those who didn't know that I could cook, I have everybody eating, and then they ask me where I got it from. I wait till everybody's done, then I tell them I made it. A certain size, and the other half would be another size. So I do small and large. All right, so now, only thing left to do is to trim this chicken. All of this, boneless, skinless would have been like, that probably would have been cool. We got a little skin. I can go ahead and debone this myself. I mean, if you use boneless, skinless chicken thighs, right, you paying for that labor for them to go ahead and do all of the work. But I'm gonna just show you, it's just so easy. Just takes a couple of minutes. One thing I like about being in the kitchen, like when somebody's around, you get to talking and then there's no problem. Here we go. Let's go ahead and do this part again. I'm gonna go ahead and take this like this. and I'm running my knife right along the side of the bone. So we do it like that. And then I hold it up like this and I try to get underneath it. Keep your fingers out of the way because I have a very sharp knife. If you guys like these new knives, look, I'm working on something for you guys. Middleton made knives, these right here are fire, folks. And you can't say nothing about this bone handle. Ooh, the balance and all of that. No worries, folks. If those of you guys want to give gifts, better yet, get a gift for yourself. This is the way I get down now, right? So now we take this and we just trace down the bone. Let me get it so you guys can see. You want to keep as much meat as you can, right? So we just cut it down just like that. Just bring it over here, cut it down there. Then when I get it here, I kind of like just do a little work. You kind of like just move it around. Look how it tear right around there. Then all I got to do is just take it here. Now you guys are finding your way to do it. For me, I'm being extra careful. And I'm watching that tendon down there too. Because if I can leave that tendon on that bone, great. So now when we cut our pieces, now we got something to work with. I'll leave a little skin in there. It's up to you guys. I'm gonna leave it like this so you can figure out what you want to do, right? Let me clear this up and let me go through the rest of these. Then we're gonna cube these up. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my top off of my Dutch oven, right? We'll go ahead and put that down. I'm finna get a fire under here. Let's go ahead and get a medium flame right here. Medium, folks, not medium high, not medium low. We're just gonna leave it like that. We're gonna build up, some heat. Once we do, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start browning and releasing our andouille sausage flavor into our Dutch oven. Now check this out. I went ahead and added a little extra virgin olive oil, and that's infused olive oil. So look, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this in. Let's get this to working. Okay, so you can see that we got a little goodness on here, right? You can see where it starts to turn, that black right there. Look at that. That's all of the flavor. And then I want to move this back. Look at the oils that it has released in the bottom. Look at that. That's all goodness, folks. And then this right here, whatever you see that look like it's trying to stick, don't trip. That's the fun, folks. So we're gonna go ahead and remove all of this. And I'm gonna say this, don't put this, get a bowl or something like that. I'm gonna get to my paper plate. I don't care what oils that I got in here, no worries. Whatever settles on my plate, I'm gonna put it back in here anyway. But I'm gonna leave all of that down at the bottom, all right? That's gonna be key, because now we gotta start working on our veggies. All right, now I took that out there. Let me make sure I still got my fire. Yep, I got a medium flame under here. I should have done this earlier, you know what I mean? And then obviously, if you're looking at my chicken, you see what I did. I went ahead and just peeled the skin off. You know what I mean? For making this video, I don't need all of that fat in there. I don't want you guys to be like, AB, that's way too much fat. We're gonna go ahead and get this chicken cut down like this, right? So I just went ahead and peeled the skin off. It wasn't nothing to show. It's self-explanatory how to get the chicken, the skin off. So I don't need to put no flavor or nothing like this on there, because if you look inside that pot, you see that right there? We got all of the seasoning that we gonna need as of now. All right, so everything that was left here, you can see it. Hopefully, if I stand right here, you can see the little white puffs of smoke that it's giving, right? Now it's time to go ahead and add, our cubes. Look at that right there. Oh, this is our cube chicken, but what I'm thinking about now is just telling you guys, you can make this with chicken breast also, but I'll always opt to use dark meat. It's the dark meat that gives us the, that juicy texture and things of that nature. All right, so go ahead and look at this. Look at how much of that it has released in here. Now, earlier I might have said I was gonna do my veggies, but obviously that's not no veggie. That there is bona fide chicken thigh, right? So I'm gonna just make a little room here. Now we're gonna take this out. I'm not gonna do anything with the fire underneath. You know why? Because we're gonna go ahead and start doing our veggies. I just like doing the veggies. You guys know, that's just like my ancestors are just talking to me. You know how I like to get down. Let me go ahead and get my onions. I'll start with them first. Then I'll go ahead and work this around just for about 30 seconds, right? You can see my onions start to turn a different color already. And the acidity that's inside of my onions is gonna pick up all of that on the bottom, right? Along with the rest of the veggies, right? So now we just go ahead and drop it all in. Now, once you start, these start to sweat down, they're starting to become, I don't want to use the word translucent, but what they're doing is they're starting to soften up, right? I want them to continue to cook a little bit more, but now will be a time to go ahead and, use our garlic press. You know what I mean? This is the part that put the smile on my face, folks. You know what I mean? Because it just makes me think about how many times my granny had me mincing garlic when I could have been using a garlic press, you guys. All right, so now we just go ahead and hit this. And when I do it like this, notice that I let the garlic fall on top of what's already in the pot, right? This way, as I'm talking and I'm explaining to everybody, I don't have to worry about my garlic burning. So I can keep and continue to hold my conversation. Now I just mix. Now, after I'm gonna say about like 1 minute, getting your, your minced garlic to become fragrant. You know what I mean? We got a little bit of fire in there. I'm not even touching the bottom of it. It's all soft, it'll come up. Right now I'm finna come with my rice. We'll add that in there just like that. And then notice I'm not gonna add nothing else in there because I wanted this to absorb some of that flavor too. Don't worry, all that comes up though, folks. Oh yeah, look at this right here. Now I'm finna raise my temperature up down here on the bottom. I've been on super low, I'm going back to medium. Just like that. And you see how that rice changes colors? And I haven't even done nothing to it yet, but just dropped it in there so it can absorb all of the flavor that we've been putting inside of the pot. Now I'm getting ready to come with my fire roasted tomatoes, everything. Now this would be more of a Creole type version because we're using that tomato. You just keep working this around like this. You want everything to marry. That's the purpose of letting everything to, cook together and giving it a minute or two. Let's form a seal down on the bottom. Let it steam, pick up some of that on the bottom too. We just leave it like that just for about 2 minutes. All right, another couple of minutes. Now we're gonna add our stock. Woo, look at that right there. Now I'm gonna raise this up to high, right? Because we wanna get it to boil, right? We'll set it up for a simmer in just 1 second. But once I see it boil, then we'll move on. But don't forget, we should have 2 things left over, and that's our herbs, right? We wanna add that to it. So now we just add this here. Add that. Oh yeah. Once you put this in here, I can feel the bottom of it super smooth. But check it out, folks. You remember this right here? This is where we get our, I like mine to be super meaty. You know what I mean? So you see this right here? And then everything else that dripped down on this, you know what I mean? Whether you guys use a bowl or whatever, and you want to put it all in there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my spatula, start working this around. You can see look at the rice. It's already starting to swell up and absorb some of that goodness. And it's gonna thicken up. You gotta remember, folks, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about it. When you see jambalaya and it's a little bit more on the wet side, that's probably like Cajun, and it probably won't be red if it's made to be more authentic. You know what I mean? But if you do it on the Creole side, you can see we're using tomatoes, and then it's gonna be a little bit more dry. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put my top on here. I just wanna get everything nice and, ooh, man, I'm ready to eat it right now. I wish you guys could smell it, folks. So look, I'm gonna go ahead and put my top on here, and then we're gonna let it simmer for about 20, 25 minutes. All right, folks, look, I done everything I can do. That's why you guys are here, because I made this look so good, right? Hey, I'm not finna over talk this. I have got to get in here and get some of this catfish right here on top. But I'm gonna go ahead and move it to the side, because don't forget, I got a video on just how I came up with that, right? Now we finna go in here and we finna get, let me get some of this jambalaya. We gotta get, you see all of this? All of this goodness? Oh, and I got some chicken right here. Chicken think it's finna get away, but it's not. Cheers, y'all. Yeah, the flavor there. Woo. I gotta do it. Hold on. I gotta really hurry up because this right here is fire. This bowl I got this in right now, you only need one, to go along with it. Sometimes you guys see when I do, jambalaya, I'll put shrimp in there also. But since we got the blackened fish on the top, and that's catfish that is, you know what I mean? No, we didn't do that. This right here is the combination of both that is super fire. Don't forget, there's a link in this video. Just click it at the top. It'll show you how we make blackened catfish, how we can do any fish that we want and turn it blackened. Now, with that being said, let me know down in the comment section below, what do you think that I left out that would have just made this even more over the top than what it is? I want you to hit the like, smash that subscribe button, and just tell everybody out here, there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And with that being said, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and walk away so you guys can zoom in here and look at this one last time, and I'm out. Peace.